Welcome to Title Talk with your host, Drew Wishover, entrepreneur, a published author, and owner of Inspired Title Group, along with his co-host and CEO, Amy Maley. Each week, they offer you some laughs, industry terminology, tips and strategies, along with the occasional real estate professional to help educate you as it pertains to buying, selling, or just plain old homeownership. Thanks for spending time with them. Now, let's jump into today's episode of Title Talk. The new feel that we got going here.
A new face that we got here.
We got a new face here too. This is awesome. So why don't you just say hello, good morning, thanks for coming on and joining us today on our Title Talk. My name is Drew.
My name is Amy.
We are here today with a special guest, and we wanted to jump right in. We didn't want to waste any time. We wanted to kind of give him as much time as we could in kind of talking a little bit more about our theme for the month being real estate and trying to put some guests on and realtors. And so what we did is said, hey, how about our first guest for 2022?
Is Ian.
Is Ian. Look at this. Ian Nelson, introduce yourself to the live, lovely folks out there.
Yeah, so my name's Ian Nelson. I live out in Norwich. I work with At Properties, so one of the biggest brokerages in the Chicagoland area, and now I think number 8 in the country.
Wow.
There's
Shout
a lot
out
of
At Properties.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of movement happening with this company, a lot of big exciting things. So
That's great.
I'm happy to be with them and happy to help anybody that's looking for their real estate needs.
Nice. So, in our theme of being Realtor Month, if you will, and us trying to put together some, these are folks that we are either working with or we are starting to engage in relationships with. And, with a title company and having the development company, there's a lot of different facets of what we do. And we kind of wanted to just have you talk a little bit about your business and some of the things that you've seen in like the marketplace, some of the things that you've seen with the trending technology changes and COVID, and how all of that has kind of played into what we do and how you've adapted to some of that stuff.
That was a multifaceted question.
Wasn't that great?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot coming at
A lot
you.
of layers.
So you can unpack that in one at a time, or you can answer it as a whole. You can do
Yeah,
whatever
I
you
mean,
wanna do.
easily you could just say complicated. No.
Yeah.
A lot.
No, I mean, I think as things come along, technology is like at the forefront of pretty much any brokerage that's trying to kind of make a name for themselves nowadays.
Mhm.
I'm lucky enough to be with one of the leading brokerages for technology and resources, plus a wonderful, huge connection network.
Right.
And that's, I think, what agents are trying to build for themselves, because when you join a brokerage, you're not necessarily joining the brokerage for yourself, or for them. You're joining it for yourself and building your own business.
For sure.
So finding and supplying yourself with the best tools, the best resources, best training, like all of the things that you're ever looking for.
Yeah.
There's, not as many brokerages doing that. But nowadays with technology, internet, the way everything's going, social media, marketing, that sort of stuff, finding a brokerage that fits well with you, fits with your philosophy, it just, it pays to do the research and take the time to find those places.
Was that something that, like, when you went out and after you got licensed, did you interview a lot of different brokerages, or did you kind of have an idea in your head going in?
So when I started, it was October 2020.
Okay.
And I got in right at leasing.
Okay.
Right.
It was a means to an end, leaving my primary career before that, which I was a chef for 19 years.
Okay.
Worked all throughout fine dining, all the way up to an executive chef level. I ran a catering company. Like, I did all of that stuff. And then once COVID hit, it just threw a monkey wrench in like everybody's plans,
Absolutely.
obviously.
Yeah.
So while I, basically got reduced to being a glorified prep cook because I had no catering gigs,
Right.
nobody could have a party, people couldn't
Right.
gather. I had a lot of free time on my hands, so I've always been interested in real estate. My aunt is a huge mentor of mine. She
Okay.
primarily works out of Austin, Texas, so
Okay.
the electric market that's down there
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Massive. Yeah.
And her prior history, she drove the whole training program for Keller Williams.
Okay.
She would fly around to every single city, train all of the
How
branch
cool is
trainers and that sort of stuff, and then she got back into real estate in 2017 with EXP.
Okay.
And they're another technology-driven
No
company.
doubt.
They're
Yeah.
primarily all online, so they don't have like actual physical offices.
Mhm.
They have a whole digital platform that creates basically like their own little metaverse.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
look
yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But you know, following with her guidance, some good mentorship, positioning myself with other good professionals that have been in the industry for many, many years, I was able to kind of like hyper accelerate my learning and take care of as much of that as I could in my downtime before I got licensed in February 2021.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's almost a year. Coming up on a year.
Yeah, it'll be a year next month.
Very
So
good.
what is it? February 2nd.
Very good.
Yeah. So you're almost survived a year during COVID of
Exactly.
real
It's a
estate.
tough time to enter the
Yeah.
real estate world is during it, but again, it's probably a logical path to that because, like you said, not a lot going on. You kind of step into this opportunity, going, all right, well, we got some downtime. We're all home. Let's do some studying. Let's do some mentoring. Let's do some connecting.
A lot of reading.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So are you
Don't
just
tell some
licensed-
people that. That might deter
Right.
people from actually wanting
Right
to.
on.
Well,
Are
I
you just
mean-
licensed in Illinois though, or
Yeah, right
okay.
now just in Illinois. I have lofty goals for myself. I mean, I've always had those lofty
Yeah.
goals. For
Yeah.
being a chef, you have to aim high and then
Mhm.
drive to get there.
Yeah.
And if anything I got out of the culinary industry was a unshakable work ethic.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've always been in customer service and, keeping people happy, setting expectations, kind of leveling with people quite often. It's kind of been a very simple transition, and then everything else is just kind of like picking it up as you go.
Nice.
A lot of learning on the whim, but when you have really good leadership and mentorship, you can find those answers a lot faster than
For
most
sure.
other people.
For sure.
So lofty goals.
Yes, very lofty goals.
As far as states, as far as sales
there
numbers, as
would-
far as everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Right now it's more or less setting up foundational things,
Mhm.
and making sure systems are smoothly operating. Right now they're doing
Mhm.
very, very well, and
Right.
business is starting to pick up. But multiple states is not out of the question. Property investment's not out of the question.
For
sure.
That sort of stuff. Working
sure.
with plenty of investors. I have investors right now on the south side because there's a lot of
Yes.
new community
Yes.
initiatives set out for areas down there as well. So property values are already starting to climb,
Yeah.
and that's happening pretty much everywhere in the city right now. So
So your primary focus isn't just the city market. You're kind of open to whatever's out and about.
yes.
Nice. Have you seen any kind of in it's hard because it's been a short period of time, but the technology piece that you use, has there been any radical change to when you started to where it is now with COVID and all the different things that people are being cautious about and such?
At the beginning of COVID, when I first got into it, the restrictions were very, very strict and stringent because nobody had any information. But I'd say now that information is rolling out, things have laxed a little bit. So getting out there, seeing properties, touring things,
Open houses.
yeah. All of those sorts of situations are becoming a little bit more normal again.
Yeah.
You're not having to go through and do like your cell phone out video guided tours for
Right.
everybody. You're not doing that individually, or just sending a recording of the video tour to clients where you're like a less personal touch there. You can actually get there and you can be hands-on with your clients and they can see you doing your
Sure.
work instead of just being like, oh, they're regurgitating this stuff over to me.
Yeah.
It's like you came in, you did one tour on a sunny day, and then this is what the house looks like, and you can't really show them all the nooks and crannies of the real value that they're trying to purchase.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's
So-
weird because this is the first time we're talking to a realtor that kind of entered during COVID.
Right.
And now, like you said, now that the restrictions are lessening and stuff, you went from all this video, all this, online touring to actually being able to show houses in person again.
Yeah, and you don't have to give 2 to 3 days advance notice to
Right.
get into places. Like the restrictions
Sanitize
are back
everything.
now. It's like if you're working with rental deals, 24-hour notice because more often than not there's already a tenant there,
Yep.
Right.
and you're trying to accommodate schedules. But if you're touring vacant places, you can get in same day. Like
Sure.
and usually at the beginning of COVID, it was still 24 hours and that sort of
Right,
stuff,
the
and
vacancy
making
piece.
short notice things happen, and like being that rock star for your clients, where you make things happen exactly when they want it, and that makes them super happy.
Yes.
So having that availability back is probably one of the best things for the industry. So
Yeah.
So does your brokerage actually support and back you in the tools, the technology, the support staff that you need to succeed?
yes, they lay that out for any agent. There's all different levels of things that are available. Finding assistants if you can't find your own assistant.
Right.
They have an assistant program of people hired in the company just to do that per branch office. So
Sure.
they set you up to be as successful as possible. And with technology, our two leaders, Thad and Mike, are constantly reinvesting into our platform. So App Properties has its own entire agent platform, which is basically an app that we can intercommunicate with 4,000 some odd agents all throughout
Wow.
Chicago. We can all share properties. We can all share communications.
That's
we
cool.
can refer
That is really neat.
different contractors, all that sort of stuff. So I mean, it's a very cohesive platform, and
Yeah.
they're adding more and new technology into it every day. So
Yeah, that certainly is a benefit of being with a bigger broker, somebody that's really established in the marketplace, because they have been through the whole ups and downs and ebb and flows of what the business and industry does. And some of these smaller organizations, yeah, they probably offer maybe a better pay scale because they're smaller, but they probably don't have all the tools and
Right.
things in place that you need to succeed.
yeah, that or even the market share.
Right,
And
right.
At Properties right now, I
Name
think,
recognition.
yeah, they do 51% of all real estate transactions in Chicago.
That's a great number.
That's a huge number.
Yeah,
That is
that's
a
huge.
huge number.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about that.
We're-
51% of your sales in
Chicago.
2021 in Chicago came through at properties. I mean, that's a big number.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you closed your first deal yet?
I have closed 6.
Nice.
That he's counting.
I have my 7th under contract right now, and then I have a listing currently in Bucktown.
Very great.
Nice.
Um,
Well, congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
Great.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, and out of the gate for the first year, that's pretty early.
Yeah,
During
that
COVID,
was
which
just
is-
sales, and then I did 32 deals in rentals.
Okay.
Last year as well.
Very cool.
Very great. So, are you kind of putting yourself in a niche to say, I want to concentrate on buyers or sellers or rent? Like, do you have a
I want to say I work primarily residential.
okay?
Buy, sell, invest,
Okay.
rental, that sort of stuff. That's where I kind of want to put my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always open to helping people out. I have more connection ability through App Properties to
Yep.
help people with commercial.
Yep.
I can relocate people because we have such a huge referral network. We just absorbed Christie's International, so they have the largest luxury market in the world, and also with what is it? They do luxury auction stuff as well. So
Oh,
I mean, if
interesting.
you're looking for like Eric Clapton's guitar
Yep.
and a $2 million house, you can buy them both together.
I'll
through
take one of each.
Christie's. Yes, that's fun, and that's again the bigger place can set up those kind of structures and deals because they have the market share, they've got the financial back. How many brokers are within the App Properties that you guys work with?
I think it's 4,000 plus for City of Chicago, but I mean we are expanded into Indiana, Wisconsin. There is a new franchise brokers that opened in Dallas. We got
Nice.
Georgia, and we're going to be adding on more states as well.
And that would require you to do the same thing, licensing and potentially kind of broadening your horizon as well.
Yeah, that or I mean, if my life ever came to the point where I want to relocate, at least I have a brokerage that I can transfer to, and
Yeah, that's a
they-
huge.
Then I know I have like still the best technology
For sure.
and
That's a
things that
huge
I'm very
selling point,
comfortable
yeah.
and
For sure.
familiar with. So
No, that's
even relocating my life would.
yeah.
be
No,
easier.
it's
Yeah,
not bad.
absolutely.
That's,
You're going to a job somewhere else still. Yeah.
Do you have, or how important is it for you to have these partnerships and relationships set up with the industry people, whether they be attorneys or banks and things like that?
Or
I think
title companies.
Oh You're gonna get there, of course, you.
No, I think it's critical, and everything in this business is relationship based. So everything you do, I protect myself very thoughtfully with the people that I work with
Sure.
because I trust them. I've worked with them. I understand their ins and outs and how they're going to communicate with me. So as seamless as I can make the process,
Right.
the better. I mean, it just transfers onto your clients,
Right.
and how easy that becomes. It makes you look completely awesome when you're able to just smoothly transact a deal for them. So
And I think that's very well said, and that's really something that we've kind of tried to model ourselves to realtors, and really even beyond that to just the professionals altogether, coming to an inspired business place to say, wow, I can get my attorneys there, they're going to close this deal, they've got opportunities for lenders and things. You can facilitate some of the development things we're doing, or the rehab projects and things like that. So putting that network of alike people, it just really makes us so much greater for the consumer. And really, if you read anything that is published right now that is regarding the consumer, that's all the IDFPR is in the CFPB. That's all they're looking to protect is the people, and everybody else in the business is expected to kind of serve them, don't gouge them, go out of your way, all these things. And okay, well, I hear this loud and clear. So why not partner with the people of the like
Yeah.
attitude?
yeah,
And
exactly. And it also helps promote small business. And I am a broker with a very, very large brokerage, but I am my own personal small business.
Right.
You are,
I'm in
yeah.
control of who I want to work with, and my brokerage does a great thing by vertically integrating all of that stuff. They have their own title division, their own
Right.
lenders, that whole sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I also like knowing other people in the community,
Right.
and
Supporting
people
small business, like you said.
supporting small businesses and working with others in the communities,
Yeah.
and making sure that I'm keeping it as local as possible.
No, I think that's really, really important, and it's certainly something that we relate to because of what we do in the community and what we try to do outside of just business, just giving back to the community and participating in local organizations and charities and things like that. It's so much bigger than just the business. It's really making some noise in the community and being recognized in the community.
Trying to make an impact.
Absolutely, and just make a difference.
Exactly.
I mean, it's great. I really appreciate you coming into doing this and being very new in this and kind of sharing your story with like your goals, and I can't express how important it is to finding that title person or that realtor that is connecting with you, because if you think about it, that's the first go-to. You are the absolute first go-to when it comes to buying, selling, or any kind of real estate question. They always call up the realtor first. And when you have a place to go to get answers that maybe you don't know, it really makes you so much more valuable, and the referral base becomes huge.
Yes,
It
exactly.
really does.
And that's literally the lifeblood that kind of drives every real estate professional, is those relationships. And as long as I'm providing the best value that I can, then I know that those things will kind of come along with it hand in hand.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
great.
Do you have any stories you have to tell? Like
Good or
really,
bad?
really good experiences, or like your first closing that was. You don't have to drop names, no anything, but sometimes these are like my favorite kind of stories. So anything like super memorable that has happened thus far in the last year.
I mean, aside from like the typical financing crumbling the week before close and
Typical.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we shopped through 3 lenders in that situation, like within a day and a half, trying to make the numbers work and everything crunch because somebody didn't take into effect. My client started a new job 2 months before that. So,
Whoops.
yeah, got all the way through, and we ended up saving the deal. Everything was just pushed back by like 35 days, but
Wow.
Okay.
which is not terrible.
No,
we
no,
saved
okay.
it very quickly.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's-
then, there's other things that you're available for. I have clients currently that have a listing. They had to relocate to Kentucky. They're already managing, paying rent, building a house which that property got hit by tornadoes in Bowling Green.
Oh,
And
Well, it's got
then
the
shortly
willows, like,
after
in
that,
it.
the cold weather knocked out the furnace and caused a leak. So I got everybody in there, made the repairs. I was physically,
In
here in
the house,
Chicago.
okay,
Yeah.
The home in Chicago that's listed. All of that happened during the freeze over Christmas and New Year's.
Yep.
So I've been in there. I've helped with all of that sort of stuff. I got the repairs done. I even did some painting on my own to kind of.
nice.
If you're looking
Help
for a
with
realtor,
anything.
this guy seems like very hands-on and will do stuff for you. His information is was scrolling.
Yep, why don't you tell
Is-
everybody where they can
yeah.
get a hold of you too, Ian?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just
Yep.
this is the kind of person that you want to work with.
Absolutely.
His information is scrolling up top, but if you want to
Yeah.
Work
So
yourself.
I mean, if you reach out to App Properties, I'm in the North Center office. You can call and talk to Paula. Just ask for Ian. She'll connect you with me right away. Otherwise, I believe my cell phone number is on
Yep.
there. Email
Yep.
anytime. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, iannelson.realestate. And anything you need, any questions, I'm always available. I'm very, very adamant about being responsive.
Great.
Yeah.
I try not to ignore anybody, or if I can't communicate to you directly, I will communicate to you very soon. It's just part of my process that I've always
Yeah.
held very, very close to myself.
and we'll
so.
put together an Instagram post if that's okay with you, and either tag you on there and put your information on there, just so that anybody watching this can get a hold of you.
Right on.
For sure.
Right on. We wanted to say thank you to Ian for joining us here today. Please, like Amy said, reach out. It's a great
This is the
person
first
to
time I've
have.
ever met him, and I
Yeah.
feel comfortable with him. So if you are a person that doesn't like strangers, because I don't, he makes this situation very comfortable. So like I said, if you are looking, if you're buying, if you're selling, this is a guy that I would recommend reaching out to.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you guys coming out and Brittany, great job getting Ian on here, and thank you for communicating with Brittany. And we have some parting gifts for you.
Title top
As-
T-shirt.
Look at that, and a nice
And a
little
nice
mug.
mug for
I
you.
love
Hopefully
coffee
we can
mugs.
start to, yes, we do too. Hopefully we can start to, do some biz together and work with you. We'd love that opportunity, and love to get you back on the show here again down the road to, talk about more of your successes.
Yeah, touch
Yeah,
base
for
in
sure.
6 months. And
I
see.
know you touched base before we started on the
Uh-huh.
private listing network.
Yeah.
Is that something you
Yes.
wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that I can, quickly mention in the conversation here, just to, it's something that we utilize in the development piece with regard to what, maybe you explain to people what it is real quick, and then, I'll kind of jump onto it after that.
So to the extent of my understanding, the private listing network is sort of like a pre-marketing tool
Right.
for property listings. There is the MLS private listing network where you can advertise, I'm not certain on the days before the listing actually goes live, but you have possibly up to a week.
Right.
Where you can market your property on the private listing network.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention that App Properties has its own private listing network that we call Pocket Listings, where we can advertise to our
Yes.
network individually, usually months in advance.
Yeah.
So if you have a turnkey ready sort of investment property that you're looking to offload on, and it's been completely renovated, but you want to just kind of wait for spring market because winter's a
Yeah.
little bit slow,
Oh, I didn't even
I can
think
get it
about
out
that way.
to all the ad agents, and we can kind of pre-market that for a couple of months,
Right.
and then bring it out to the private listing network right before it goes live. And
That's
with
valuable.
other connections, like through
Yeah.
the team that I'm part of
Right.
at Properties, which is the Brian Grossman team. He's a top producer in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and he has access to the TAN network, which I also get access to through him. And that is the top area of producers of all brokerages throughout the city. So it's kind of like an exclusive
Yeah.
network where you can get all of your listings out to all the top producers in the city.
There it is. I mean,
There's
that's-
so much out there
Yeah,
that
I mean,
that's
I
crazy.
think that's valuable just in its own, because, the behind the scenes of what actually can happen, you just gotta ask the questions. And, I found out about the private listing network through just doing the development and rehabbing properties and such, that one of our realtors, we had put it on, and it was like quick, bang, gone. And it never had to go MLS, and we had multiple offers fast. And I think like you said, with a network of App Properties, that in itself is 4,000 people.
Yeah.
With
right?
that pocket one that you guys have, do you purchase prices? Do you list out all that information, or is it like private?
If it's undetermined, you can kind of just put the property interest
Okay.
Right.
out there. If you're like still kind of figuring that out
Yep.
with your clients
Sure.
and stuff, and then once you come closer, because prices are different in off season to
Oh, yeah.
on season. So
Sure.
you're looking at possibly a 25% decrease
Definitely.
just coming into the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So
We feel it. We know it. We feel it right
just
now.
making sure you're putting the correct information out there and when they're expecting to list and all that sort of stuff.
That'd
You
be
kind of
interesting.
can withhold that information until you know when it's going to be. But if you have something and you know what the done dollar value is going to be,
Yep.
you can have that advertised before you
It's
put
huge.
it on the market.
No, I think that's great.
Huh.
I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that and bringing that up, and that's certainly something for the investors out there that are listening and paying attention to this as you're rehabbing properties. That opportunity is available, and that's something that you can utilize as a step above or a step ahead of some of the other folks who are trying to sell their properties and stuff. So
Exactly.
here again, thank you so much for that, and again your time. We're gonna run a little short video here of some things of behind the scenes that I think you guys are gonna love here. And we're gonna be right back with you in a couple minutes, so stay tuned and take a peek at this. It's a lot of fun. Wow, that was kind of fun, huh?
I like today.
Yeah, that was
Today's
kinda
been
fun.
great.
Nice job on putting that little clip together. So that's just a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes as we prep. We do some meeting and chatting about what the content and guests and what we're going to talk about.
And thank you again, Ian. Ian, you were great having on
Ian
here.
Nelson,
we really
thank you so much
appreciate you
at
coming out.
Properties. Good information there. If you missed any of that, you can absolutely check this out on YouTube. It will actually air later on tonight.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what time that's going to be, and we'll share that with you. So let's move on to
Yeah, we're
talking a
gonna
little
do-
bit about us.
A little bit of Amy Drew time. So we are going to start with our giveaway, Title Talk 2.0 giveaway. You officially have the rest of the day, well, the rest of this next couple minutes, and when we re-air this tonight to enter into the drawing for our first giveaway. So remember, you have to like, you have to comment, you have to share, and then your name will be entered.
In
I think
the
we have
bucket.
8 or 9 so far.
Woohoo!
So make sure, like I said, make sure you are liking and commenting and sharing for the rest of the show today and or when we re-air it tonight. And you will be the recipient of the first giveaway gift card of 2022.
Giveaway gift card. What will it be? Stay tuned. It'll be fun stuff. So thank you guys again for tuning in and listening. Each week we do the show, and it's really because of you guys that we do the show. Having the guests on and bringing some knowledge to you, the listeners. We're really just putting the show together
Yeah.
for you guys and getting you guys as much information about the business, about who we are. We're trying to connect with the community. We're doing that through our community charities and services and givebacks and
Yep.
all the things that we love to do. But we also feel really, really connected to giving back to you guys, the listeners, and gaining you some knowledge in what is a fast-paced, fast-moving industry being real estate. So, we're just one part of it being a title company. There are realtors, there are lenders, there's attorneys. There's a lot of different professionals that make up this business. So we're trying to kind of connect them all with you guys and kind of give you guys a little background of what each of them do, so.
And it's cool to hear people's different
Yeah.
insight onto, because
Right.
for someone who's been doing this for a year, he seems like eager and out,
Yeah, very excited about it, and
he
it
seems
has
very
some-
excitable. Thank you. I
Yeah,
can't think of a
and
word.
he really has some direction with it. He really seems like he
Yeah,
knows where
he's got
he
a
wants
good
to
head
go
on his
and
shoulders.
what he wants to do. So that's fun. So let's go into our segment that we enjoy with the positive vibes and the motivational minute. So your positive vibes have
Yeah.
been really, really great the last couple
Thank
of
you,
weeks,
thank
and
you.
I'm anxious to hear what you're going to bring to us today.
So today, what I'm going to talk about a little bit is how to start your day on a positive note. Because I can
Great
tell you
idea.
when my alarm goes off in the morning, I'm just like, oh my gosh, here we go.
It's not a positive start.
Actually found out that setting a happy tune on your alarm
Sure.
could be a very good way to start your day in a motivational way. Because my alarm goes off and it's like, and I'm just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Sounds like that.
So they said, why not, spend the $1.99 on iTunes and set a happy ringtone? Because then,
So what song do you? What,
I have not
okay,
yet.
Okay.
I have not
I'm
yet.
curious.
but I will
Okay.
stay tuned. And I'm thinking about trying, but then I'm afraid of what
You'll
if
be
we just
dancing and you'll never
sleep
be
through the
thinking.
tune. One of my students, she used to use the Disney When You Wish Upon a Star.
Yeah.
And she used to sleep through it, so her sister would run in there and shut it off and be like, "This has been playing for 7 minutes."
It'll be in my dream. I'll start dreaming the song.
That's what
Yeah.
So anyway, stay tuned. I think I'm gonna try that and see what
Okay.
happens.
All right.
Interesting. Trade coffee for water.
Ooh.
This one's a hard one. I know.
Ooh, I just
So
got a headache thinking about that.
imagine not drinking water for the next 7 or 8 hours.
Okay.
That's what you're doing when you sleep.
Uh-huh.
So you actually wake up kind of dehydrated, right?
Right.
So water will help to jumpstart your metabolism, flush out your toxins, and give your brain the fuel it needs to kickstart your day.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking about double fisting. I'm gonna go water and coffee because without coffee I'm a monster.
Why-
So I'm
I was
thinking.
just saying, why don't you add a monster in there and we got all three?
So yeah, I'm gonna try to, and I just don't drink enough water as it is. So more water.
Okay.
Take a moment of gratitude. Just think about 5 things that snap into your brains really quick that you're thankful for. Whether it be like, you know what? I really love this pair of shoes I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laying next to my husband, which is a great guy most of the time. I love you.
Lot of hesitation there.
Or like, I can't wait to get to see my students at dance today to review competition dances. Like, you have to put your brain in a place to think positively about good things that are happening. So just while you're laying in bed listening to your beautiful song go off, think about 5 things that make you really happy.
Mm-hmm.
This one I need to do too, disconnect.
Ooh.
Stay away from social media until you've had some time for yourself, which I can 100%. I will lay in bed, wake up in the morning and scroll through my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok.
Yeah.
Without actually waking up. So I'm going to try to implement this into my daily ritual of not going on social media until I'm, at work and have had the morning for me. So I'm going to try alarms with music, a little bit of water in the morning, be thankful, and give myself some me time because it's important for
We'll
everyone
try
to
this
take time.
exercise for a month, and Brittany and I will let you know how that works.
You should, I would. It would. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a cool thing to start
Yeah.
thinking about, and it's just
You
it's
can get
little,
immediate feedback from that. I mean,
it's a
something
little-
that's noticeable.
it's tiny, teeny little changes that might make a difference and might not. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll be glowing in 3 weeks from all this positive changing
Oh,
that
Amy,
I've
you
had.
already glow.
Just when I wash my hair.
Yes. Indeed. Very good. I think it's important to, like you said, start your day out positive. I like that. I like that theme. I like that direction. That is fun stuff.
This is the only one that's going to be very hard for me.
Yeah, that yes, I hear that, and it's something that's very difficult being caffeine strong too. So, all right, so I am wanting to talk about comfort and comfort zone. So this week's motivational minute is personal, and I wrote a story about me to kind of show comfort zones and what they are and talk a little bit about them. So I think it's important that you take yourself out of your comfort zone. You got to stop living in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, you're going to fail. Success is not a comfortable process. I was scared, I was uncertain, and I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. In the summer of 1989, while attending Yeah, while
This summer?
attending a wedding and being the best man at a friend's wedding,
You had a baby. You had a 1-year-old.
I did. I was approached by the band leader while he was on a break, and he had asked me a question that would ultimately change my life. He asked me if I'd be interested in working with him in his entertainment company as a DJ. I was shocked, I was surprised by such an offer, and it was all because I was just being me, goofy, dancing, having fun, outgoing, excited, it's just, that was my personality. He picked that up so quickly. So I took him up on his offer and started going out to weddings, corporate parties with other DJs in the company as kind of that young trainee. I saw things from each of these people that I liked. I saw things that I didn't like. I went from this shy and timid guy to this outgoing life of the party person. To further go on to be one of the most requested DJs and manager of that portion of his company. I ran that portion of his company for many years. Well, then it hit me. Everything was happening so fast for me. I began to I got emotion to this. People were asking me what do you, why are you so emotional about this? I said, I finally have been born. I finally feel like this thing has been released from me. I now know what I'm supposed to do. I went to work the next day. I quit my job. That decision cost me everything. I literally lost everything. Meaning, I lost my family, I lost friends, and personally, I was lost. But I just saw this vision. I felt this movement inside of me that I had to go take chances and pursue some things in my life. I said, wow, that's it. You have to take chances, Drew. Life is about risk. If you play it safe, you're not going to have much of an experienced life. Life is a risk. It takes courage to pursue your dreams. Now, it's going to cost you something, but most people, and most people aren't willing to pay what it costs. Go after your dreams. Because you're going to have to hurt a little bit, and most people don't like to be uncomfortable. Please, if you don't want to be uncomfortable, do not pursue success, because success is very uncomfortable. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to lie about that. Success is very uncomfortable. I've learned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You've heard me say it 100 times. Life is hard. So for every time you have a plan, a dream, or a goal, do you know what happens every time you have one of those? Things come along called life. It happens every day. Life is full of peaks and valleys. We're going to lose somebody. You're going to lose somebody you care about someday. You're going to lose a job. You're going to get fired for something unjust. That's one of those valleys that I speak of. You can stop thinking that life is going to be easy, because I got news for you guys. It's false hope. To think that you're going to have a wonderful, carefree life, that's unthinkable. That's absolutely unthinkable. We all live in this bubble. What you got to do is put some more air into that bubble. You got to blow your bubble up, expand yourself, take yourself out of that comfort zone. Do not just live in that bubble. If you're staying in your comfort zone, that's where you're going to fail. Success is not comfortable procedure. It's not. It's a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So, who's with me? Let's get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you ever want to be successful, start putting some pressure on yourself. Challenge yourself. If you think ordinary is cool, that's fine. There are some really wonderful ordinary people out there. But if you're listening to this with me right now, and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you will have to do some extra things. You put extra on top of ordinary, you become extraordinary. There is no other way, people. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. But here's a fact. All of you have extraordinary capabilities. Each one of you guys listening, each one of you guys paying attention to this have extraordinary capabilities. All of you. You have to decide if you're willing to do the things to put yourself in that category. Are you guys willing to start being comfortable being uncomfortable? That's a road to success. So, a story about me, a little bit of reality, but it really is truthful when you kind of put it into perspective,
It's hard to think about you being shy.
right?
It's like, you know what I mean? It's just hard to.
Young me was very, very scared, very, very shy because of, married at a young age, taking on life, taking on being a parent, taking on this whole quick
10
adulthood.
years, yeah, quicker than
right?
people usually do.
And having to go out and work and provide and not know what I wanted to do and
Yeah.
not have a direction and be totally uncertain and uncomfortable with
Right.
all of it. And then it was just discovering who I am and recognizing that it's okay and you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose things and friends and family and people. That sucks. It's hard.
Yeah.
But
No,
you
I
gotta
hear you.
pursue through it. So yes, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Very cool.
Positive vibes, motivational minutes. We give them to you guys every week, and these are things that we hope that you will kind of learn from, maybe take a piece from it as well. And we appreciate you guys for listening to that stuff. So
Very cool. Very, very cool.
thank you. What you got now? Where
All right.
do we go next?
I think we're gonna go to Inspired Business Gives Back.
I love this part.
Our food drive is alive and kicking.
It's driving.
It is so cool.
It
We
is
actually, so yes, I did a shout out to Brittany's parents for being our first donations. We had Christine next door, we had Eileen next door, and we had John. Shout
So
out
great.
to
Way to
John.
go, team member.
So yes, John donated. So we are still collecting up through February 22nd. So please feel free to give us a holler, do a drive-by, and we will be here and accept any donation possible. So thank you for that.
So great, guys. It's the community thing. I think, maybe next week we can have Brittany maybe show some of those pictures of the people giving.
Yeah,
through
that'd be
that
awesome.
process. I think that'd be fun to just kind of, show some of that live. I think it really touches people when you actually see it. You talk about it, you feel it, but
Right,
watching
actually
people
watching
take
people do
food
it.
from their home or their means and put it into this bucket of just, it's a place to keep this stuff. But to know where that bucket is going.
Yeah.
And to know who that's helping, it's incredible.
Yep,
And it's emotional.
That organization is Together We Cope. So if you want to check out some information on them, they have a Facebook, they have a website, and kind of gives a rundown of why we're doing this for them. So
Great idea.
also Homes for Heroes, we have a couple deals out in Indiana that
We
we are
do.
doing with Homes for Heroes. So thank you, Rich, for sending us
Absolutely.
those deals and keeping them coming. And we're gonna keep doing our best to help out the
Provide for
heroes
them.
like you are.
Absolutely.
And then we are going to have a blood drive.
Amy gets pale just saying that.
I get pale because the first one was so easy. And
Yeah,
that's,
you crushed the first one.
the first one I was like, oh. But the
Yes.
second one I was like, oh.
Yeah, oh. Yeah.
So I'm going to try to stay hydrated.
If you start doing that fun thing in the morning
know.
and drinking water, I think you have a better chance.
I will. So yes, our blood drive is going to be in March, so that's super exciting. The
That
end of
is.
March.
That is.
So yeah, stay tuned, and like I think that's a good idea to do pictures and stuff with
Yeah.
people donating. That might be fun.
Yeah, we'll get that on, and like I said, if there's anything that you guys want to see, if there's some part of the show or something that you want us to talk about, or if there's an organization that means something to you guys, I think that matters a lot to us to, utilize your ideas, and,
Yeah.
and certainly we'll take those into account as well, but definitely give us those shout outs. Why don't we send these folks on their merry way?
Should we wrap it up?
Well, are we gonna do this again? I think the show's gonna air again in the evening, right?
In the later today.
In the later evening.
Well, if you're
Okay,
so yeah, we'll do a post on Facebook.
a blast.
What time we're gonna?
A blast when this will run again.
Because I said maybe if we did it like 10 o'clock at night when we're getting into bed, or like 8 o'clock after dinner time.
I'm open for ideas and options, folks. You tell us when you want to see it. We're here for you guys, only for you, only you, 100% of the time. We hopefully you can kind of look at the positive vibe piece that Amy does and the motivational minutes piece, because there's some real good things in there. I think it's really great, and obviously Ian, we thank him for being on this.
Yeah,
and
that was great.
taking the time, and there's some contact information for him as well, so you can certainly reach out to him and get your real estate questions answered. So
Yeah.
take these folks home on
Okay.
a quote for today.
I got you. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need tomorrow.
Amen, sister.
Mm-hmm.
Great, very ties in very well.
I was trying to tie it all together.
So I find the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. Very interesting thought, folks. Very interesting thought. The harder you work, the more luck you seem to have. Ladies and gentlemen, this show has been wonderful. We're really enjoying doing this for you guys each and every week. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. Share it, subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook. Inspired Business, Inspired Development, Inspired Title.
Inspired Dream Team.
Just inspired. We're just it. We are inspiring it all day long, every day. It means a lot that you guys tune in each and every week. I hope that you guys are getting some value out of this. We thank you for listening. My name is Drew.
My name is Amy.
We are Inspired Business Group. Take care, everybody. Have a good week.
Well, there you have it. That is it for this week's edition of Title Talk. Be sure to head over to our Inspired YouTube page and subscribe and like. And make sure you follow the team on Instagram and Facebook. Join us again next time for more tips and knowledge from the industry pros. Thanks again for listening.